Hi, I'm Elena, and today we're going to make together the Dede Wallet. You're watching this video because you have purchased the kit, and inside your kit you found 3 pieces of pre-cut cork along with an instruction card that has only 4 steps. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we're going to need for this project. This is a beginner-friendly project. It requires you to have a sewing machine and just very little sewing machine experience, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make this project today. So inside your kit you will see your instruction card along with 3 pieces of pre-cut cork, the main body and the 2 pocket pieces. Let's open it up, and we're going to take out everything that we need for the project. Inside the kit you'll have the main body, the one that has a hole in it, and you'll see how that comes in handy later, and the 2 inner pocket pieces. On the card you'll see identified a color-coded right side of fabric and wrong side of the fabric. So the right side is the one that is colored and the wrong side is the one that feels a little bit like fabric. Next you'll have the 4 steps needed to complete this project, and let's see what else we're going to need. You're going to need an all-purpose polyester thread. I'm using Glide thread in a beautiful color that matches my cork, an erasable pen specifically designed for fabric, a pair of scissors. This is to cut your threads when you're done sewing. You're going to need sewing clips. Pins are not recommended. Sewing machine needles. These are 9014, just universal needles. And optionally you're going to need a rotary cutter and a quilting ruler, in addition to a lighter that is also optional. So let's begin. Because we are beginners, we're going to mark our stitching lines during this project, and you're going to stitch 1/8 of an inch away. So on your ruler, this is a Creative Grids ruler, the very first mark right there is an 1/8 of an inch mark. The next one over is a 1/4 inch mark, which we generally use for quilting. But you're going to take your pocket piece, one of them, and using your erasable pen, you're going to line up the bottom of the pocket piece, which is the straight line, with those 1/8 of an inch marks, and just simply draw a line. When you go to the sewing machine, you're going to sew exactly on this line, and that pen will erase away at the end. So these are my 2 pocket pieces. Put the 2 pocket pieces wrong sides together, matching the curved edge. You want to make sure that that fits perfectly. It matches as well as you can, and we're going to sew on this opposite edge, the straight edge to that. Once you have them lined up perfectly, you can use a lighter to burn off any thread sticking out, but we can also do that in a later step. You want to clip on the sides, so not the actual part that we're going to be sewing, so the clips do not get on your way. And once you're satisfied with the result, let's go stitch exactly onto that line. You're going to stitch exactly onto the line that you drew, and you are going to hold on to the bobbin and the top thread so that way they don't get tangled on the back of your project. I like to use a 3mm stitch length. It just makes nicer stitches. And you're going to not secure your stitches in the beginning and the end of this project, because I'm going to show you an alternate way of securing those stitches. So once you stitch your line, you're going to cut your threads a little bit long, because what we're going to do is actually tie a knot in it. And I'm going to speed the video up just a little bit so you don't get bored watching me tie knots. You don't have to leave your threads as long as I did, but I like to be dramatic, and I'll show you later another bit of drama. But this is what your wallet is going to look like so far, with the bottom stitched. So your threads are really long by now. Just give them a trim with your scissors, and you can use your lighter. Because it's polyester, they will melt right away. Of course, like I said, yours do not have to be that long, but I do like drama, so I'm just trimming the threads, melting them, and that helps them stay secured. Ooh, that was a little hot. All right, So now we're going to use the eraser that comes with the pen, and I'm going to erase, I don't have to erase the whole thing, honestly, just the middle part that's going to show through that opening of the wallet. So next we're going to take the main piece of the wallet and folding it in half with the curved edges matching together. I want to mark the middle part of it. So that's right there. As you can see, I'm just using my removable pen, my erasable pen, to mark that center. And this only helps me place my center pocket a little bit better. What I want to do is draw a line exactly in that center. That opening is 1/2 inch, so halfway would be exactly 1/4 inch. And you also want to line up the top lines, make sure that it matches the top and bottom of your wallet. This way our line will be perfectly perpendicular to the edges. So now that you have a line, you're going to put the bottom of your pocket lined up to the side edges, and with the stitch that you just made, straight over that hole inside the main piece. Fold it in half, and this is just a glimpse of what your wallet will look like. And as you can see, you want to do your best to match the edges onto the outside piece and make sure that everything fits right, and we're going to use some clips to secure that in place. Match the same on the other side. Fold it as well as you can. Make everything really straight, and use your sewing clips to keep that in place. So we're going to mark again our stitch lines, but this time I'm going to put a few clips out of the way so I can remove the ones that I just put in. I am again marking my 1/8 of an inch stitch lines on each side of my wallet. So we're going to mark our stitching lines on both sides. So I'm going to put the clips back on, and I'm going to mark it again on the opposite edge. So you want the curves to be on top and on the bottom of the wallet, and you're going to sew the other two sides, the straight ones. Put the clips back on, and let's go stitch exactly on that line. So at the sewing machine, just like we did in the previous step, I'm holding on to my 2 threads, the bobbin and the top thread. I'm using a 3mm stitch length, and I am sewing exactly onto that line. Make sure you go slow. What you want to do is stitch back and forth a little bit, or secure your stitches at the beginning, at the end. And another place that I like to secure my stitches is where the outer pocket meets that inner pocket, because we're going to be using that a lot. So right there in that spot, we're going to be using that pocket a lot, and we want that to be more secure. At the end of the stitches, sew back and forth a couple of times and cut your threads. My machine has an automatic thread cutter, but that's what it should look like. You'll see maybe a tiny little nest on the back of your stitches, but it's not going to show much at the end. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. I'm holding on to my top thread and just stitch directly onto that line, securing your stitches in the beginning, at the end. So that means sewing back and forth just a couple of stitches in the beginning of the project over that little pocket and all the way up to the end, to the bottom of the wallet. Cut your threads, and just a few steps away from your wallet being completely done. Look at that. It's a perfect tiny little wallet that you have just made yourself. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, again, trim those threads. As you can see, I'm not as dramatic here as I was before. And after you trim your threads, don't worry, they will not unravel because you have already stitched back and forth on it. You secured your stitches. You're just going to use your lighter and melt those threads away, and that helps secure your stitches as well. Next, we're going to make sure that our wallet looks nice. So I see a little bit that it's not perfectly lined up on the edges, but I'll show you how to fix that. But first, let's erase the stitch lines that we have made. And I really like this pen because it just erases right off. And then we're going to even those edges out. So with your ruler and your rotary cutter, you're just going to put it at the edge and you're going to take just the tiniest piece of cork off without going into your 1/8 of an inch stitch. Try to cut as little as you can, just enough to make it straight. Now don't forget to close your rotary cutter like I did, but look how nice my stitches are. Look how beautiful the edge is, and if I see something that is not quite right, I'm just going to use my scissors to make that even, and briefly hold with your lighter over it. It's going to help trim away those little frayed edges. And your wallet is now done. Let's test it out. I'm going to put one card in the outside pocket and one in the middle pocket. And to take the outside pocket cards out, all you have to do is push them through that little opening on the bottom. And I know I only used 2 cards, but this wallet can hold up to 6 or 7 cards even, because cork is a little bit stretchy. But congratulations, you just finished your wallet. If you like this kit, check out my full pattern that has instructions inside the pattern on how to make the key fob and the hanging tab that you can use to attach to the key fob. It has the same curved edges, and it comes with a template that you can cut this wallet out of any material that you want. So it also has instructions on adding those decorative stitches all the way around and beautiful finished edges. This is made also from cork fabric, but let me show you one that I've made out of faux leather, a really fun iridescent vinyl. And for this one I did not use decorative stitches, but I used my pattern and I cut out the pieces, the same hanging tab, the same 3 pockets, but it's just a really fun type of project. And again, this wallet can also fit many cards inside of it. You can make these for craft shows, you can make these for your friends. As you can see, they are really quick and very effective. And you can actually put this little wallet inside a bigger wallet if you wish. Thank you for your time, and thank you for purchasing my pattern and my kit, and I will see you next time.